Stars Bedtime Story. Hi, my friends. How was your day? Did you have a happy and nice day? To make you guys have happy and good dreams, I will read you stories. So, close your eyes and let's go to the dreamland. The story for today is The Sun and the Moon. Once upon a time, a brother and sister and their mother lived happily together. The mother worked at a rich family's feast and raised the son and daughter alone. Then one day, a big feast was held in a rich family in the lower village, and she went to work there. Guys, I'm going to bring some rice cake and delicious foods from the lower village. So keep the home safe. Don't open the door to anyone until I come, okay? After work, their mother was going home with the rice cake on her head. And suddenly, a tiger appeared. Give me the rice cake and I won't eat you. Oh, the rice cake is here, so please let me go. She trembled and immediately took out the rice cake and gave it to the tiger. The tiger ate the rice cake in a flash. Mom was about to cross the second hill to hurry back to home. But the tiger showed up again. Give me another piece of rice cake and I won't eat you. Mom threw the rice cake in the basket to him. The tiger ate the rice cake in a flash and disappeared. She crossed the third hill and the tiger appeared again. Give me a piece of rice cake and I won't eat you. The tiger appeared on every hill and ate all the rice cake. Oh, what should I do? There's no more rice cake left. Then I should eat you instead of rice cake. The tiger gulped down the mother in one bite. Then he wore the mom's clothes and went to their house and told them, My keys, Mom's here. Please open the door. The brother and the sister in the room looked out through the door because their mother's voice sounded weird. Then, there they found a big tiger standing in their mother's clothes let's hide on the tree by the well. The children weren't visible, so the tiger looking for them here and there. And finally, the tiger saw the brother and sister reflected in the well.
Well, guys, how did you get into the well?
Then the little sister leapt. At the time, the leaves fell.
Right, you climbed the tree.
The tiger tried to climb up the tree, but it wasn't easy. The brother said with a trick, "It's easy to climb up with a lot of sesame oil on the tree." Fooled by the word, the tiger went to the kitchen, put a lot of sesame oil on his feet, and then went up and kept slipping and twisting. He kept falling on his behind. Then the sister couldn't stand it, so she laughed and said, "Hey, stupid tiger, you can use an ox and come up."
That's a good idea. I'm gonna eat you guys now.
The tiger found the ox and climbed up by stamping it on a tree. They were so scared that they shut their eyes closed and prayed to the sky. "God, my Lord, take pity on me and my sister. Please give us a rope." Then a thick rope came down from the sky, and the brother and the sister climbed up to the sky on the rope. Seeing this, the tiger prayed to the sky,
God, my Lord, give me a rope too.
But this time, a rope came down. Going up to the sky excitedly, the rope broke in the middle, and the tiger fell to the ground. In this way, the younger sister went up to the heaven, and she was afraid of the dark night, so she became the sun, and the brave brother became the moon. The story for today is a sun frog always doing in reverse. Once upon a time, there lived a mummy frog and a sun frog in a small pond. The sun, a little boy tree frog, is doing what Mommy said in reverse every time. Mommy says, "Crack, croak, croak, croak." Then the sun follows,
Carol, 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 Carol.
Mommy says, "My dear son, you have to sound crack, croak, croak, croak." But the sun answered,
No, I don't want to do that. I will make a sound. Carol, 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 Carol.
When Mommy Frog said, "Dear my son, come down to the ground," the sun frog jumped up high. When Mommy Frog said, "Dear my son, come into the pond," the sun frog ran into the forest. When Mommy Frog said, "Dear my son, can you sing for me?" Then the sun frog stopped singing at the moment. At night, when Mommy Frog said, "It's time to sleep," shh, the sun frog sang overnight.
Quack, 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 quack.
Mommy Frog was sad because the sun always did everything in reverse. Then one day, it's rainy all day. Raindrops poured into the ground heavily. Mommy said, "Dear my son, it rains a lot today, so the water has increased. It's dangerous to stay near the water. You should be on the mountain." Right after this, the sun frog jumped into the water, and then he played on the water while humming. "Oh my dear son, what can I do with you? You will be alright when you grow up." Mommy Frog was worried more and more. One day, Mommy Frog said, "There is a stork near the water, so you never go to the water, alright? Stay near our home today. Crack, croak, croak, croak." Although Mommy asked the sun not to go to the water, the sun went to the water and played there, saying,
Carol, 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 I want to play near the water.
In the afternoon, when they need to eat lunch, the sun frog didn't came back home. Mommy Frog was worried. Crack, croak, croak, croak. What if he's near the water? She went out to find her son. When she arrived, she saw the sun frog taking a nap near the water. But the stork was there too. The stork was trying to bite her son, making a sound with his beak. Frightened, Mommy Frog said, "No, my boy, it's dangerous," jumping to her son and embracing the sun frog. At that moment, Mommy Frog got hurt, stamped by the stork's beak. Mommy Frog was really in pain, but she saved her son. "Oh my God, my love, my son, are you okay?"
Yes, but Mom, your legs and back are covered with wounds.
Mommy Frog's leg was broken, and her whole body was full of wounds. As a result, she was sick in bed. As the pain got worse, Mommy Frog was worried. "If I ask him to bury me in the mountain, he would bury me near the water," Mommy Frog said with a very short breath. "Dear my son, if I die, please bury me not on the mountain, but near the water." She finished her last word very hard, and then she closed her eyes.
Mommy, don't die. Please don't go. Crack, croak, croak, croak.
Mommy Frog thought that since the sun frog always did something in reverse, he would bury her dead body on the mountain so that it would never drift away while raining. It rained heavily near the water on the day the Mommy Frog died. The water overflowed in a flash. The sun frog regretted his past days when he did all the things in reverse.
Mom, I must follow your last word.
He made up his mind. In the end, he buried the Mommy Frog's dead body near the water and cried sadly whenever it rains a lot, as it could be drifted away. So far, when it rains, The stunned frog cries sadly.
Croak, 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 croak.
Today's story is about Sour Mouse and Country Mouse. The Sour Mouse and the Country Mouse were close friends who just greeted only by letter. Then one day, the Sour Mouse made a contact that he would go to where the Country Mouse lives. The Country Mouse was happy to meet his friend after a long time, so on the day the Sour Mouse decided to come down, he cooked various grains such as acorns, potatoes, and chestnuts with all his hearts. But the Sour Mouse looked at the table carefully prepared by the Country Mouse and frowned.
This is all I'm going to eat? What about cake or cheese?
There's no such food here.
Hey, Country Mouse, you've been eating all these bad food? Hey man, come to Seoul with me. I'll give you a bunch of delicious food.
The Country Mouse followed the Sour Mouse to the city. The city was much more complex and spectacular than the Country Mouse thought. The Country Mouse said with wide eyes, "Whoa, in Seoul, the house, the car, the building are all very magnificent." The Country Mouse was surprised even more when he entered the house of Sour Mouse. The big table in Sour Mouse's house was full of meat, cheesecake, and chocolate cake. Looking at the surprised Country Mouse, the Sour Mouse shrugged and said,
Country Mouse, look at these. You have to eat this kind of delicious food. Here, help yourself. There are always many things to eat in Seoul.
The Country Mouse swallowed his saliva. "Wow, thank you. I'll enjoy it." As soon as the Country Mouse was about to take a bite of the cheesecake, he heard a thump of footsteps, and the door burst open and people came in. "No, you mice! Can't you go away?"
Country Mouse, we have to hide now. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
The Sour Mouse dragged the Country Mouse under the table. The Sour Mouse said to the shivering Country Mouse,
It's a piece of cake. You don't have to worry. It happens here all the time.
When the people went out, the Sour Mouse jumped back to the table and said,
Now, there's no one here, so let's eat as much as we can.
This time, when the Country Mouse was about to eat the cheesecake again, a big shadow appeared with the stealthy footsteps. It was a fierce cat.
Meow, I'm going to eat you guys. Meow. Come on, run away, save the mouse.
The Sour Mouse and the Country Mouse quickly went into the mouse hole and shook their bodies.
Ew, that could have been a disaster. We almost got eaten by a cat. Let's just wait until the cat goes.
Sour Mouse, is this what happens here every day? I can't eat because I'm nervous. I'd rather go back to the countryside. I don't want to live in the fear of being eaten someday. Even if I eat shabby food, I feel much better in a comfortable place. The Country Mouse took his stuff and went out without even looking at the food. The Sour Mouse was ashamed to hear the Country Mouse. The story for today is A Bear and Two Friends. Two close friends were walking along the forest. They were so close that they would share everything. Dude, we're even closer than real brother, right?
Of course. I'll definitely help you whenever you're in trouble because we're the best friends.
I trust you. At that moment, at first, it seemed like the wind was shaking a branch. Suddenly, a bear appeared and blocked their way. Whoa! Two friends started to run away. One friend quickly climbed up the tree.
Phew, I'm safe. Oh my god, what about my friend? Well, I don't know. To live or die all depends on the haven. I don't know.
Another friend tripped over the tree root. When the bear came closer, the friend who fell down couldn't find a way to escape. Then, he remembered what his father said. Bear doesn't eat a dead body. All right, I'll act dead. He quickly lied flat on the ground, and he pretended that he was dead. Then, the bear came closer. It sniffed the friend by sticking out his nose, which was wet. Sniff, sniff. Few minutes later, the bear returned to the forest. When the bear disappeared, the friend who was up on the tree climbed down and asked,
Hey friend, are you alright? By the way, the bear seemed like it was whispering something on your ears. What did he say?
The friend who were down on the ground stood up and shook the dust off. Then he answered, How did you know that the bear was whispering? I was also surprised.
Really? What did he say?
The bear told me not to be a friend with someone who runs away and leaves his friend when you're in trouble. Two friends went in silent.
The story for today is Snow White. Once upon a time, when snowflakes flurry, a queen gave birth to the pretty girl. She had a white skin, red lips, and black hair. Oh, my baby, I will call you Snow White. You are as white as snow. Due to the birth of beautiful Snow White, the palace was in festive mood for a while. Unfortunately, the queen passed away with the illness, leaving beautiful Snow White behind. The king greets new queen with the grief of losing queen, and with the pity of Snow White, the princess who will be raised without mother. The new queen had the magic mirror. She asked the same question to the mirror every day. Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful woman in the world?
The most beautiful person in the world is you, the queen.
The day after and the year after, the queen keeps asking about who the most beautiful person is in the world. One day, Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful in the world?
The most beautiful person in the world is Snow White.
As Snow White grows up, she becomes more beautiful than the queen. As the queen likes to show off, she cannot bear the fact that there is more beautiful person than herself. Eventually, she ordered the hunter to murder the Snow White. However, the hunter cannot kill such a beautiful princess. Instead, he abandoned the Snow White to the deep forest. Then he lied to the queen that he murdered the Snow White. Left alone, Snow White found the house while wandering the deep forest. Strangely, the house had a small door. The tables and chairs were all small. As Snow White got tired and hungry, she fell asleep in the small bed after eating 7 loaves of bread on the table. Actually, it was a shack of dwarfs. When 7 dwarfs got back home from work, they were surprised at the beautiful Snow White on the bed. When she woke up from the sound, she explained her situation to the dwarfs. All dwarfs said that,
Princess, let's live with us for a while.
They let the princess stay in the shack together. Now, the queen thought Snow White was dead. So she looked at the mirror and asked,
Mirror, mirror, the most beautiful person in the world might be me, right?
The most beautiful person in the world is Snow White.
What? Is Snow White still alive? The queen cannot bear her anger.
All right, then I will kill her by myself.
After making a poisonous apple, she disguised as an old lady and visited Snow White. Beautiful lady, why don't you try this tasty apple? When Snow White hesitates, I will try half of these, then you can try the other half. There was a poison on the half of the apple which Snow White tried. As Snow White cannot imagine who the old lady is, she fell into the ground after biting the poisonous apple.
I only put the poison into the red part.
The queen disappeared by laughing as an evil. 7 dwarfs were in grief after finding a collapsed Snow White. They bemoaningly laid Snow White into the glass coffin, and when they tried to move the coffin for the funeral, prince who was passing through there found the beautiful Snow White. The prince told them to move the coffin together. And when he tried to move the coffin, the poisonous apple in her throat came out. Oh my God, where I am! When the Snow White opened her eyes and seemed puzzled, the prince seized the princess with a joy. Oh, beautiful lady, will you marry me?
Yes, I will.
The two of them kissed with each other. All of the dwarfs were so delighted, and the prince and the princess lived happily ever after. As the bad behavior of the stepmother was uncovered, the mean queen was kicked out of the castle with the red hot high heels out of the fire. Then she regretted her own bad behavior, but it's too late. Did you guys enjoy the story of Snow White? At first, the kind princess was kicked out of the palace due to the jealousy of the queen. However, she met and lived happily with her friends, the 7 dwarfs. And afterwards, finally she met and lived happily ever after with the beloved prince. But the queen, who was full of jealousy, was expelled from the palace with the red hot high heels out of the fire. The story for today is Grateful Ant. Once upon a time, one hot day, an ant lost its food and fell into the pond while wandering around the pond.
Splash! Help the ant! Help me! Help me!
The ant screamed by pawing in the water. However, no one can hear it. At the moment, one peasant sitting on the willow noticed this pretty ant. The peasant picked the willow leaf and threw it to the ant. Hey ant, I will throw the willow leaf. You can climb on that. The ant came safely back to the ground with the willow leaf's assistance. The ant said,
Peasant, you saved my life. I will never forget your help.
The peasant thought that this small ant has no ability to return his favor. So she flew above the willow tree with a flap. A few days later, when the ant was working hard near the pond, and it saw a hunter trying to shoot the peasant.
Pigeon, here's the hunter. Run away! Run away!
The ant shouted, but the pigeon cannot hear what the ant said. As the ant was eager to save the pigeon, so it dashed to the hunter's foot and beat it.
Ouch! What's this?
The hunter who tried to shoot the pigeon dropped the bow and arrow with a loud scream. The pigeon was startled by the sound and flew away by flapping its wings. Thank you, ant. You saved my life.
No need to thank me, Pigeon. You saved my life first. I was more appreciated.
Today's story is Red Bean Partridge, Grandma and the Tiger. A long time ago in a very rural place, the time when a tiger could speak, there was a grandma plowing in a farm all by herself. She was called Red Bean Partridge Grandma as she was brilliant at cooking red bean partridge. One day, in the middle of the spring, she was working hard, sweating, filling the red bean field with a hoe as usual.
Yes, the red bean looks nice. I should cook a red bean porridge once it is red and ripe.
And as soon as she stood up unfolding her back, a giant tiger showed up and yelled, "Roar! I'm starving to death, and I'm gonna eat you right now." She was shocked and tumbled.
Oh my, please, I'm begging you, tiger. Can you save me for just once?
She was begging hard, and her body was shaking.
Please, be generous. Who would take all these red bean fields here if I die now? I'll promise that I'll cook delicious red bean partridge in winter for you. So please at least wait for me until that time. Then you could have delicious red bean partridge. Then you can eat me.
Tiger took a moment to think. Actually, the tiger really liked the red bean partridge. Fine, sure, I'll only wait until then. Tiger went on his way, licking his lips. The wind was blowing, leaves were falling, and finally, the winter came with heavy snow. On the early morning of the winter, the grandma was cooking the red bean porridge while sighing again and again.
Oh no, I guess I'm dying today.
On a cauldron where red bean porridge was boiling, the teardrops started to fall. All of a sudden, a chestnut came and asked,
Grandma, why are you crying when you're cooking this amazing red bean porridge? I am crying because I know that tiger is on his way to eat me and I'm scared. No worries, Grandma. I'll help you. Instead, please give me a red bean porridge.
The grandma nodded and kindly gave a bowl of red bean porridge to a chestnut. The chestnut ate it deliciously and hid under the fireplace. Once Chestnut disappeared, Grandma started to cry again. Then a turtle crawled to the grandma. Grandma, why are you crying here?
I'm crying because I'm going to be eaten by the tiger today.
I will help you. Just give me a bowl of red bean porridge. The turtle also ate it deliciously and hid inside a water pot. The grandma started to cry again, and this time, a dung beetle was sliding down and came next to Grandma.
Hey, Grandma, if you give me a bowl of red bean porridge, I'll help you as well.
The dung beetle also ate it deliciously and stayed at the corner of the kitchen floor. This time, a gimlet hopped in and ate a bowl of red bean porridge. Then he stood right up on the kitchen floor. Next was a straw mat, which lied on the floor. And finally, a luggage carrier ate the red bean porridge and hid behind the door. When the night came, as we all would imagine, the tiger showed up. Grandma, I am here as we promised. Grandma was frightened but said,
It's too cold here, so wait for me next to the fireplace. If you stay there, I'll give you a bowl of red bean porridge.
When he slowly came into the kitchen and sat next to the fireplace, the chestnut jumped right into the eye of a tiger. Gosh, my eyes! Tiger covered his red swollen eye and put his feet into the water pot to wash his eyes. And the turtle bit his foreleg. Gosh, my legs! Tiger was jumping up and down and stepped on the dung beetle on the floor and fell down. Oh my gosh! And when he was sliding down and falling, the gimlet stabbed Tiger in his butt. Gosh, please save my life! When he went outside, the straw mat covered his whole body, and the luggage carrier carried the straw mat and ran into the well. Take this! Over the deep well, the straw mat untied itself, and the tiger fell deep into the well. No! Help me! On the very night, the grandma said,
Thanks to all of you. You guys really saved my life. I'll be more than happy to give you delicious red bean porridge every year.
She was smiling and ate a red bean porridge with chestnut, turtle, dung beetle, gimlet, straw mat, and luggage carrier. Today's story is about the wisdom of a rabbit that defeated the tiger. It was a cold winter day. It was so cold that the animals hid. Deep in the mountains, a foolish tiger had not eaten anything for several days, so he was very hungry. Mountains were covered with white snow all over, so no matter how much he looked for prey, he couldn't even see the animal's tail. The tiger has been searching for prey through the hills for days. Roar, I'm starved. I'm hungry. My legs are hurting. I'm so weak that I can't go looking anymore. But that's when a rabbit ran past from far away. Wow. What luck. I was just getting hungry. The tiger's eyes were wide and ran quickly to catch the rabbit. Roar, gulp. What a yummy look. Where do I eat first, or swallow all at once? But the rabbit he caught was the smartest and the cleverest one in the world. How tricky. All the animals used to stand in line in front of her and get the wisdom. As expected, the tricky rabbit calmly told Tiger without a blink. Oh, Tiger, as a matter of fact, I was looking for you. Oh, what? You're looking for me? Tiger, the hungry king of our mountain. I was about to grill honey rice cake for you. Why don't you have some? The word honey rice cake made the tiger smack his lips at a gulp. No, you came up with a honey cake for me? By the way, is it delicious? Then take the lead. The rabbit guided the tiger to the pebble field. The rabbit lit a bonfire and threw round pebbles into the fire. Oh, I forgot honey to dip the rice cake in. I'll go and get the honey jar. You should never eat it because it's cooked red. Roar. I got it. Alright, just go and get back. The rabbit jumped away with a smile. I'll be right back. But when he saw the back of the rabbit hopping away, she danced joyfully. Oh, bunny, you're dancing for delicious honey. It must be delicious enough to dance. After a while, the round pebbles were red hot. The stupid tiger said, I'm hungry. Should I try one? The tiger mistook a big piece of pebble for honey and swallowed it all at once. Oh, hot, save the tiger. The tiger rolled around, shedding tears and shaking his burnt tongue. He was so hot in the stomach that he grabbed it and rolled over again. Oh dear, how dare you deceive me? Bad bunny, I'll catch you. I should swallow it up. A few days later, the tiger got better. He found a rabbit hopping away while wandering around and ran quickly. You bunny, you dare trick me. I'll eat you in one bite. But the rabbit smiled without a blink. I thought you were going to beg for me the life, but why are you laughing? The tiger tilted his head and asked, Hey, Mr. Tiger, how have you been? When the rabbit asked with a straight face, he answered on an impulse. Okay, I've been well, but what's the good news? Of course, I was about to eat chewy sparrow meat. Would you like to taste it too? The tiger smacked his lips at the word of sparrow meat. He was excited to eat sparrow meat and followed the rabbit again. Okay, tiger, I'll chase sparrows here. You open your mouth wide, and when sparrows comes up, just swallow them. He thought to himself after eating the sparrow meat, he would have the rabbit for dessert. After a while, he heard a sound. Oh, I can hear sparrows flapping their wings. I think the rabbit guy chased a lot of sparrows. I have to open my mouth bigger. He thought that many sparrows are flying, so he was excited and opened his mouth wider. But sparrows was nowhere to be found, and a hot fireball flew into the tiger. In fact, the sound of was not the one of sparrows flying, but the one of the fire burning when the rabbit lit the pampas grass field. The wind blew and flames gradually moved toward the tiger, and eventually his body caught fire. The tiger was so hot and he ran and jumped here and there, barely putting out the fire. The more the tiger thought about it, the more angry he got at the rabbit and couldn't stand it. You dare trick me again, this nasty rabbit. I won't let it go. The tiger wandered through the mountains to catch the rabbit. Then he found the rabbit by the river. Roar! Did you think you'd cheat me again and be safe? The moment he opened the mouth and tried to eat the rabbit,
Tiger, shh, please be quiet. What if all the delicious fish out there run away?
the rabbit pointed to the frozen river. The tiger forgot to eat the rabbit again, and his ears got tempted. No, there are so many delicious fish. By the way, the river is so frozen. How do you catch it?
It's a piece of cake. Just grab it with your long tail. Everyone grabs it just like that. First, make a hole.
The rabbit struck the boulder vigorously. Then there was a round hole.
Look, Tiger, there are a lot of fish, right?
When the tiger looked into the hole, the fish was visible. Oh, so like fishing, I put my tail in the hole and catch it.
Oh my, you're so smart.
The tiger shrugged and put his tail into the hole.
If you wait a bit, the delicious fish will hang. I'll bring the branches to light. You must share one with me.
Okay, go ahead and bring the branches.
The rabbit hopped and danced again.
Over time, the rabbit did not return. He later realized that he had been deceived again, and the angry tiger tried to get up to catch the rabbit. But the tail was frozen. He couldn't move an inch. The tiger had a runny nose, sneezed, and shivered from the cold. Oh no, I've been tricked again. The tiger kept whining and pulling his tail, but the frozen river froze his tail even more. Eventually, the tiger finally came out when the river melted in spring. Since then, the tiger has been running away through the hills from the tricky rabbit.
The story for today is A Shepherd Boy. Once upon a time, there lived a boy looked after sheep of the village. He always felt bored.
Oh, I'm so bored. Is there anything fun?
Seriously thinking about for a while, he decided to do something fun. And then he went down to the village and shouted,
"Oh, wolf! There comes a wolf! The wolf tries to eat the sheep!"
Whoa, what? Where? Where is the wolf?
Stopping what they were doing right away, all the people in the village ran all the way to catch the wolf with their hoes, shovels, and clubs.
It's just a lie. A lie. I was bored, so it's a joke.
It was a lie and a joke of the boy. People warned him and went back. But the boy thought it's really interesting. He did just the same thing. He lied again.
"Oh, wolf! A big wolf is over there!"
All villagers came again with sticks, but
"It's a joke again. It's a lie. What a fun thing it is!" What? What a bad boy! Will we never be fooled again?
people said this and went back to the village in anger. Then One day, a scary wolf appeared somewhere when the boy was with the sheep in the field. When the wolf tried to eat the sheep, the shepherd boy told the villagers, "Help! Help! The wolf appeared! It's not a joke this time!"
Hey boy, you fooled us again. We'll never believe you.
Though he was keen to say, people didn't believe the boy at all. The villagers thought that he lied again and did not come to help. Eventually, the big bad wolf ate all the sheep of the shepherd boy.
The story for today is a mosquito which beat the king of animal, lion. In one hot summer day, an animal king lion was taking a nap under the cool shade of trees with waving its tail. Suddenly, he heard a sound of zzz. A mosquito flew around the lion, which was taking a nap.
So you are a king of animal. Well, I'm not scared of you.
Grrr, what a noise. How dare you, small guy, interrupt the nap of the king of the animals. The lion swiftly attacked Mosquito with sharp claws. However, it could not catch small and nimble Mosquito. Mosquito stung the lion's ears, butts, and tip of the nose with sneer. Pricking, itching and pricking. I can't take it anymore. The lion ran away from the mosquito. The mosquito which beat the lion boasted itself. It even started humming.
Haha, did you see who I am? I am a mosquito which beat the lion. You guys all need to call me Sir Mosquito. I am the king.
All of a sudden, Mosquito was stuck by something sticky as it was carelessly flying around by boasting itself.
Huh? What's wrong with my body? Oh my god, this is a spider web.
Yes, the mosquito was caught in a spider web. As the mosquito tried squirming, it got deeper and deeper into the spider web.
Help! Help, mosquito! Somebody help me!
The scary spider was coming toward to the mosquito from the other end of the web.
Gosh, now I'm dying in the spider web. Why did I brag of beating the lion? Help, mosquito!
Now, the mosquito regretted its light and stupid behavior.
Cinderella. Once upon a time, in a small castle, there lived a mother, father, and a pretty girl. The girl was loved by her parents, and she was growing well, very beautiful and kind. Then one day, her mother died from a disease. The girl lived with her dad, but he left the house for several months on a business trip frequently. Every time the girl could wait happily, knowing that Daddy would always be back. Then one day, her father came back from work with a woman, not alone. Dad said that he met the woman who was a widow in a business trip, and he wanted to live with her from now on. If you are happy, I'm happy too, and I like it. The girl agreed. On the day the new mother came, she brought her 2 daughters together. So the girl had a stepmother and 2 sisters. But unfortunately, all of the 3 were bad. They led the girl to all the housework, washing clothes and cleaning, and they always wore the girl with old clothes. In addition to this, the stepmother and 2 sisters teased her, Cinderella, but she had no time to feel sad. Cinderella means full of ashes. Even though she was full of ashes, but Cinderella was much more beautiful than the 3. Cinderella couldn't leave the house full of memories with her real mother, despite all the harassment of her sisters and stepmother. So she kept the house to the end. Then one day, an invitation to ball sent by the prince arrived.
Wow, I'm so excited to be able to go to the ball. What should I wear to the ball?
The 2 sisters were very excited while preparing. Cinderella also wanted to go to the ball, so she wore her mother's old dress. But one of the sisters said,
Hey Cinderella, you never go to the ball, such a full of ashes.
The stepmother tore the dress, saying,
You never come with us.
Cinderella was so sad, but she helped her sisters wear dresses and made their hair beautiful. Have a good time there. Cinderella saw them off on a ball kindly, but when she was left alone, she cried. Tears she had been holding poured out.
I want to go to the ball.
Cinderella, crying sadly, heard a sweet voice somewhere. Do not cry, good girl. I will send you to the ball, so don't worry. Surprised, Cinderella raised her head, and then a fairy with a wand was laughing at Cinderella. Now we need a few things to go to the ball. First, we need to get a pumpkin and a few mice. Cinderella found a pumpkin and some mice, like what the fairy asked. When the fairy tapped the pumpkin, it changed to a carriage. Now it's time to the mice. As the magic wand touched them, the 4 mice changed to horses. The biggest one changed to a horseman. Now it's time to you, good girl. Close your eyes. When Cinderella closed her eyes, the fairy touched her clothes with a magic wand. And then the dress, which was torn, turned into the most beautiful dress in the world. Finally, the fairy made the crystal shoes to Cinderella and said,
all the magic will be broken at midnight. So you should come back before then. As Cinderella arrived at the ball, all the people there saw her and admired.
Wow, she's so dazzling.
What a beautiful lady she is! Which country's princess? The stepmother and two sisters couldn't recognize she is Cinderella. The prince fell in love with her at first sight. Lady, shall we dance? Cinderella danced with the prince, and all the people in the palace looked at them with an envious look. She danced with the prince happily and forgot the time while talking. Dang, dang, dang. The bell started ringing at 12 o'clock at night. Oh my God! Startled, Cinderella hurriedly left the ballroom. When coming down the stairs, a crystal shoe came off, but she couldn't pick it up to hurry back to home, taking the carriage. Following her, the prince picked the crystal shoe and thought, "Who is the beautiful lady?" After this, the prince decided to find out the lady and get married to her.
Listen all, I will marry the lady, the owner of this crystal shoe.
Servants tried to find out her all around the world. Eventually, they came to Cinderella's house. The two sisters argued.
This beautiful shoe is mine. I try first. What are you talking about? Your foot is too big and it does not fit. I try.
Both of them wanted to wear the crystal shoe, but it didn't fit at all. At that moment, Cinderella said, "Can I try on?"
What a nonsense! You, a fool about shoes, try on these? No way!
The sisters laughed at her, but the servants allowed Cinderella to try on the crystal shoe. And surprisingly, the shoe fit perfectly on Cinderella's foot. She took out the rest one and wore that too. Then the fairy appeared again and tapped Cinderella's clothes with a magic wand. She turned into a lady in a beautiful dress again. The stepmother and the sisters were bewildered.
What? Was Cinderella the beautiful lady?
Afterwards, Cinderella had a wonderful wedding with a prince. The sweet-hearted Cinderella forgave her stepmother and two sisters. All lived happily ever after. Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there lived a mommy pig and three little pigs happily together. The three little pigs were growing up day by day. One day, Mommy Pig said to the sons, "Oink, oink, dear my sons, you are all grown, so now leave me and live on your own. But be careful the wolves in the forest."
The three little pigs left their mom and made their own houses. The first pig, who likes to play, says,
I like playing the most. Oink oink.
Just resting on the field and meets a farmer who brings a bunch of straw.
Mr. Farmer, can you give me some straw? I want to build a house with.
The farmer said with a worried look, Yes, but if you build a house with straw, it can be easily blown by a wind. But the first pig built a house weaving the straw roughly. Of course, he didn't sweat a single drop. Right at the moment, a hungry wolf visits the first pig. Hey, little pig, can you open the door for me?
No, no! If I open the door for you, you will eat me. I will never open the door.
If you don't, I just blow it away. When the wolf deeply breathed in and out, the first pig's house was blown up to the sky. The first pig hurriedly ran away to the second pig's house. The lazy second pig picked up some branches and piled them up to build a house. And then he took a nap. He also didn't sweat a lot to build his house. At this moment, the first pig visited him in panic.
Hey, my brother! There comes a wolf! We need to hide!
Don't worry, brother. My home is safe. After a while, the hungry wolf came to the second pig's house. Hey, little pig, can you open the door for me? No, never. I will never open it. If I open the door for you, you will eat us, right? No. If you don't, I can blow it. When the wolf deeply breathed in and out, the second pig's house was shaken. The wolf once again strongly breathed in and out, and the second pig's house was blown too. The first and second pigs ran away to the youngest third pig's house. Not like their older brothers, the youngest third pig is very diligent. He met a man carrying a cart with stones.
Excuse me, mister. Can you give me the bricks? I want to build a house with.
Oh, then it'll be a very sturdy house, sure.
The third pig built a house, piling up them brick by brick. He built his house, streaming with sweat all day long.
Oink, oink. Finally, my brick house is completed.
And he came into his own home
and tried to sit on a sofa. The two brothers ran into the home hurriedly and locked the door, saying, "Hey, my little brother, help us, please! There comes a wolf now! He blew our houses!"
Don't worry, brothers. My house is very sturdy, so it should be okay even if the wolf comes.
At this moment, the hungry wolf came to the third pig's house.
Hey, little pig, can you open the door for me?
No, never! I will never open it for you.
If you don't, I can blow it again.
The wolf gathered his all breath to make his chest bigger like a balloon. But it never moved at all. The wolf once again, very strongly, breathed out, but the sturdy house with the bricks never moved at all.
You 3 little pigs! I must eat you up all!
Getting angry, the wolf wandered around the brick house but found no crack, and he jumped up to the roof and went into the chimney. But in the fireplace, in the large pot, water was boiling hot. Without knowing this, the wolf rode down the chimney and splash! He fell down into the hot boiling water.
Oh my God! It's too hot! Help me!
The wolf was frightened and ran far away. After this, the wolf has never been cruel to the 3 little pigs, and the 3 little pigs lived happily ever after. Dudish Big Crow. A spring day with warm sunshine. The day has come to win the king of the birds and the mountains.
Tomorrow, the most beautiful bird is chosen as the king.
Birds in the forest were very busy wearing feathers because they wanted to be the king.
Oh yes, where can a bird be as clean and elegant as me?
The white swan walked out with a long neck.
What? What are you talking about? The bird must be the king who delivers good news like me.
Magpie also walked out fashionably.
What are you talking about? It's more beautiful to be small and colorful like me.
A lovebird sat, holding a small, round head high.
Guys, it's no use trying to get a fight among you guys. A gorgeous and beautiful bird is me for sure. I'm a peacock.
The peacock spread his big tail. All the birds in the forest showed off their feathers and beauty. However, the crow, who watched this from a distance, did not go along with the colorful birds and sighed, downcast.
Cook, cook.
I'm so sad. Why is my body so black? I'm just black and have nothing to see. Then a peacock feather flew in front of the crow. The crow picked up the colorful peacock feathers, looked at here and there, and put them on his body. Wow, it looks a bit nice with these feathers. Okay, this is it. If I put all the pretty feathers on my body, I'll be the prettiest and the most beautiful. I can be the king. The crow picked up colored feathers and put them one by one in the body. Oh, it's really beautiful. Yes, I'm the king of the birds. The crow had a satisfying smile. The next day, when the whole forest lit up with a bright sun, the contest to finally select the king began. The birds gathered there were busy posing one another and showing off their feathers. The crow also walked to the venue with all the colorful feathers and in a nice pose. Hello, friends! I'm a peacock from a neighboring country. When the crow lies, peacocks, cranes, magpies, pigeons, lovebirds, and catteries all started to laugh their heads off.
Are you a peacock? Your flesh is so black. Hey, Mr. Crow, can a crow become a peacock when you attach the feathers? Right, then tomorrow you will be a lovebird. Give me, this is my feather.
All the other birds took their feathers off the crows.
A liar can't be the king.
They turned their back and went away. He was embarrassed, so he went to a place where crow friends gathered. But,
you were ashamed of the appearance of the black crow. You said you were a peacock.
Then the crow regretted that he felt ashamed of his own appearance. The story for today is The Tortoise and the Hare. Once upon a time, a rabbit and a turtle lived. The turtle was crawling through the forest. The rabbit, who jumped hippity-hoppity, made fun of the turtle.
Hey, turtle, why are you so slow? You must be the slowest animal in the world. Step aside, Mr. Lizard. The rabbit goes out.
The turtle, who was annoyed, stopped walking and said,
Hey, rabbit, how about playing a game? Who reaches the tree on the hill first?
It's no contest. I will win for sure, but I will let you know once again that I'm faster than you, the rabbit said. A few days later, it was finally the race day. They decide to race who arrives faster to the tree on the hill. Ready, go!
The rabbit jumped and disappeared quickly, but the turtle followed slowly, dripping with sweat. The rabbit went halfway up the mountain and said,
Where's the laggard coming? It must take a lot when he arrives here, so I will take a nap.
The rabbit fell into a nap.
While the rabbit was taking a nap, the turtle went up slowly, but with all his energy to the hill. The turtle passed the sleeping rabbit and finally reached the tree on the hill.
Hooray! I win!
Everyone congratulated the turtle who arrived at the finish line.
Turtle wins! Hooray!
No! Well, what?
Surprised at this sound, the rabbit awaked from the nap, and what she could see was the turtle had already reached the finish line.
Hey, rabbit! You are slower than me.
The rabbit regretted her laziness. Little Mermaid. Long, long ago, there was a palace where mermaids lived in the deep blue sea. The princesses who lived there were dazzlingly beautiful. Among them, the youngest princess with black hair and blue eyes like the blue sea was more prominent. The youngest princess loved the story of the human world told by her grandmother, and she was curious about the human world. There is a garden with beautiful flowers in full bloom, and the fluorescent from those flowers is really good. And in the forest, the birds sing. The little princess would take a beautiful boy statue from the sunken ship, standing it in the courtyard of the sea, and admired it. The mermaids were able to go above the sea on their 15th birthday. The first princess saw the clouds and birds in the sky, and the second princess saw the lovers watching the sunset together. The brave third princess came close to the land and saw the boys who came to the water and the city lights, listening the bell ringing from the church. The fourth princess saw a ship passing by on the horizon in the middle of the ocean. The fifth princess, born in winter, touched and ate the white snow from the sky. The youngest princess was thrilled and waited for her birthday. I wish I had a 15th birthday soon. What will the human world look like? Finally, it was the 15th birthday of the youngest princess. Wearing a pearl necklace, the clamshell pin on hair, and gorgeously dressed, the princess finally rose above the sea. Then, in front of her, a big ship with colorful decorations and lights was floating on the sea. In fact, on that day, the prince's 16th birthday party was being held. People were all on the deck, dancing, singing, and fireworks exploding over the sky. The fireworks were as beautiful as the dropping stars in the sky. The princess came close to the ship without even knowing it. Then, "Oh, who is that man?" At the moment, the princess was amazed at the prince on the ship. "Oh, that man looks just like the boy statue in my garden, right? Is that the prince?" When the night came, a sudden storm began to rush. At the moment, a strong wave flipped the ship where people were riding on, and it cracked all of a sudden. And the mast also broke. the ship was sinking into the sea in an instant. Oh, the prince is coming to the sea? At first, the princess was delighted, but soon what her grandmother had said came to mind. People cannot live in the water. When a person falls into the water, the breath will soon cease. The princess shook its tail vigorously and pulled the prince, who fell into the water, out of the sea. Prince, I will save you. Please wait for the moment. The waves were so high that she almost missed the prince, but the princess swam all the way to the land. It was in the morning that she could reach the land. The princess laid the prince on the sand. At that time, bells were heard in the abbey, and ladies appeared. The princess was surprised when she saw the people hiding behind a rock. A lady yelled at the prince, "Oh, a man is here!" At the sound, the prince opened his eyes and said, "You saved my life." The prince went to the abbey with their support. The princess couldn't reveal the appearance of the mermaid to him, so she just saw the prince disappearing from a distance and went back to the sea. After that day, the princess used to touch the statue all day weekly. Grandma held a prom to comfort the youngest princess. The mermaids sang and danced with a clear voice. The youngest princess sang in the clearest voice. The song of the youngest princess made all the sea creatures happy. But while the princess kept singing, her heart was empty and painful. She missed the prince. If I were a person, it would be good and I could be loved by the prince. Yes, which would know the way. The Little Mermaid went through the fearsome sharks and snakes in a dark cave and went to a skeleton house. The witch said as soon as she saw the princess, "Oh, foolish, I will make legs for you instead of your tail. But if the prince marries another woman, then you will become a bubble as soon as the sun rises the next day." The princess was so scared, but she loved the prince more. "It's okay, please help me." "Good, but there is one thing you need to do. Give me your beautiful voice. You will lose your voice too." "Okay, I will." The witch gave the princess a black potion. The princess went to the prince's palace and drank the potion. Then, at the moment, it was so painful that it seemed to cut off her tail. The princess stopped stunned by the pain. After a moment, when she waked up, the prince she had missed was in front of her. The prince asked, "Who are you, lady? Where are you from?" The princess wanted to speak, but her voice didn't come out. She couldn't help but see the prince with the deep blue eyes like the blue sea. As the prince reached out, the princess staggered. It's not that easy to stand up, but she walked to the castle with the help of the prince. The next day, a prom was held. When the prince claps at the maid's song, the princess felt sad. Oh, how good would it be if I could just sing my song to him? Still, the princess danced better than anyone else. The prince asked the princess to dance together, and until late at night they danced and had a good time. The prince was always with the princess. They ate together, went up the mountain, went for a walk, and rode a horse together. The princess had a happy moment with the prince, and the love for the prince was growing even more. One day, the prince said, "I want to marry the lady who saved my life, but she cannot do that because she is in an abbey." She wanted to say, "It's me who saved you. How hard I swam through the storm that day." But she couldn't speak a word. "I'm going to see a neighboring princess, and let's go with me. This is just what my parents want. I'm going to marry you if I can't marry that girl who saved me." The prince, who went on a long way and met the princess of the neighboring country, was surprised. "Oh my God! Unbelievable! It's you! You are the girl who saved me!" The princess of the neighboring country was in the abbey for a while to study. The prince told the Little Mermaid, "Wow! I can marry the lady who saved my life! My wishes come true! Are you happy too?" The Little Mermaid laughed silently, but her heart was torn with grief. The next day, the wedding was held magnificently, and a wedding feast was held on the ship at night. The princess, who was thinking of herself to become a bubble, on the next day. Then her sisters appeared. The long hair was cut all the way. The sisters gave a golden sword to the princess and said, "It's a knife that we've given our hair to the witch. Stab the prince's heart with this knife. Then you will become a mermaid again. Now the sun is rising soon. Hurry up." The Little Mermaid raised the curtains and saw the prince sleeping soundly. The princess raised the sword high towards the prince's heart. However, she couldn't even stab her beloved prince. The princess kissed the prince's forehead and said goodbye to the prince. Then she threw herself in the sea. She felt herself melted and became a bubble. The morning sun rose. Tears shed in the eyes of the Little Mermaid for the first time since she was born. On the ship, the prince was looking for the mermaid princess. The princess became bubbles with the airy fairies and slowly began to rise above the sky, higher and higher. Did you guys enjoy the story The Little Mermaid? What do you, my friends, want to do if you live in the sea? How about being a fish? Or how about becoming a mermaid princess? If you live in the sea, what would you like to do?
Who would you like to meet? Let's meet together in a dream. I believe that you guys will have a wonderful, exciting, and happy dream. Love you guys. Thank you guys. Hope you are always happy. Good night.